Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another RC Conspiracies. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Let's see if I can remember how to do it and get this thing going. We'll see. It's been a while, but this is awesome. I'm super excited about this announcement, and I think there's a lot to talk about. Definitely an interesting choice by Traxxas. More to come. Hold tight, guys.
Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the
moon. Shady silhouetted images and industry teasers are finding their way into our homes and invading our minds. Their calculated information is delivered to feed our addiction for radio-controlled frequencies. It's an RC conspiracy, but we are on your side, cracking the RC code, because the truth is out there. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast. Get your decoder rings ready and put on those tinfoil hats because your fearless leader is here. Please welcome your host, the lead RC conspiracist, Tony Cece. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? It has been a while since we've done the RC Conspiracies. So welcome back. We'll see if we remember how to do this or not. It's it has been a busy month for me, and I'm in the middle of getting ready for the Great Lakes Gauntlet this weekend. If you're anywhere near Michigan, you should be at the Great Lakes Gauntlet. It's going to be wild. And I just saw some new images pop up from the trade show of the TRX4m, and it looks pretty cool, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the images I just saw, and we'll be showing them in just a second. Why don't we just show them now, actually? Check this out. This is from Pacific Coast Hobbies. These are images from the show. Look at the back here. The cover over the spare tire with the Bronco. Wicked. Wicked. They've also got the parts area here. You can see the bodies taken off. They almost look like hard bodies, don't they? I haven't really seen any details on this yet. You can see the heat sink on the motor here. Lots of spare parts already available. Shock sets. You can see the axles apart here. These are going to be awesome, probably for monster trucks as well. Is going to be pretty wicked for that. So, man, got even more excited about it after seeing this. And you can see there's already spare parts and stuff here. Look at the size of the motor. Definitely looks like the FMS size motor on that transmission up here at the very top shelf. See if we can't zoom. See, that's something I don't like about. This is how to do it. That little button right there. We can see the motor a little bigger. These look like, what are those mounts? They look like servo mounts almost. Hard to say. Lots of color options for links and everything. It looks so aluminum links, all that are coming. All kinds of craziness, you guys, in this scale of size. A couple different colors we're seeing as well for the options on the bodies right out of the gate. Very cool. Tires look pretty good. So, yeah. Always with the monster trucks. Always with the monster trucks. Yes, MW. Hey, what's going on, guys? RCU next Tuesday. Scale Papa RC. Matt Harris, Jeff Makovich. Joseph Ciani says he just ordered the Mini Ecto. Regretting that now. Yeah, man. So they are coming out fists up in the air. They're ready to take on the fight of the mini crawler game, like instantly here. What I'm seeing is very impressive in what they're rolling out all at one time. Looks like there's a spare bumper even on that shelf on one of them. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. I don't have any insight into it other than what people are just now starting to post. Those are some of the first images that I've seen. There's definitely support packs and all of that you can get that they're showing as well. In fact, we can show it here. These were showing $150 is the map, which is insane. That's a great starting point for these. I was curious about the size because the hand here looked really large in this photo. So either it's a small hand or the truck looked really big, not the hand. The truck looks really big in the hand here. So I'm curious what sizing 1/18 scale is to them, because the novelty for me of a small truck is that it's small. If it's too big, that's going to be a bummer. If it's not super portable. They show it next to like a backpack here, and it's really hard still to gauge the size. The books helps a little bit, but until we really see it next to an SCX24, because that's the biggest question mark for me, is why did they do a 1/18 scale when the main market is 1/24 scale currently? What you see people doing competitions with, what you see people actually like really doing aftermarket and going after has been the 1/24 scale. And then Traxxas is like, bam, 1/18 scale. Here you go, you guys. We know you want this. And it's kind of like, all of our courses, all of our bridges, everything that people are building for these, so far in the mini game have been mostly toward that 1/24 scale. So, if hobby shops have already installed 24 scale courses that have bridges and things that are specific to the widths of a 24 scale truck, like this is kind of a, what am I going to do with this kind of a thing? So if it's just smaller than their 16 scale, if it's on the large size of 18 scale, why not just do 10 scale? Or like RC 4-wheel drive TF2, which is a tiny 10 scale already. So that's my question mark. I love that they've come out, with a bunch of stuff already for it from the get-go. They're ready to take it by storm. But my question marks are we don't see SCX6 competitions popping up all over the place. I wish there were more because I would like that. But yeah. So anyway, thank you to the Jeep and Realtor, Matt. Thank you, man. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? 1/18 scale is big enough to go outside. We take our 1/24 scale outside. The nice thing about them is if you're going somewhere on a bike or you just throw them in a backpack, but it's an extra thing. It's not taking up a whole lot of space in your backpack. Like I don't take my FMS ones anywhere with me that are 1/18 scale. It's like just a bit bigger than I want to for that size. If I'm going to go that big, I'll just bring my big ones that are super capable. And so that's my question mark. And somebody says that SCX24 is more like 1/20th scale. If you divide the 96-inch wheelbase of what is that? What it is? 96-inch. What is the wheelbase of a JLU? J. So the 4-door is 118 inches. Do calculator here. 118 divided by 24 would be like a 4.9 inch wheelbase. What is the wheelbase of a SCX24? I'm looking it up. Sorry. Man, I looked this up earlier, and yeah, it is about a 20th scale. The wheelbase is 5.2 inches. So it's a little bit bigger than 24 scale. So yeah. But I mean, everyone has their own sizing. It's kind of crazy, and I don't know what they base it on, but it's crazy. RC next Tuesday. I love the SCX6. Yeah, man, they are so cool. So, yeah, the question is, how do these fit into the mini world that's been so heavily dominated by the 124 scale? Are they going to make a whole nother class for people to do? Well, so Bulgy here, he says they chose its competition well. They staying away from the SCX24 as their competition and chose to build on FMS's popularity. I don't think that FMS has that much popularity for their size. When you really, maybe among us YouTubers and some of the groups, but by and large, you don't see many of them out there when you go places. You're more likely to see an SCX24. So the question is, like when Traxxas came out with their TRX4, they didn't avoid the competition of Axial and everybody else in the 1/10 market. They said, we're going to push you guys and do something better than you've done. We're going to put in like locking diffs and all this 2-speed transmissions and take it to the next level than what you guys are RTR. And this feels like, yeah, it didn't do that. And the question mark is the SCX24 market so big right now that it's going to be tough for Traxxas to crack into that mini market because of that? I don't think they will, because Traxxas can crack into any market pretty much that they want to. The question is, will all of the shops and all that start building for the 18th scale, or will they build for the 24 scale, or will they build for both? And will competition start offering a whole nother set of gates that are like the 18th scale gates? Because the gates that the 18th scale would go through would be super easy to get through with an SCX24. So it's all that kind of stuff. But it's not the portable small size that we carry around super easily in our hand like the SCX24s. So it's interesting in my opinion. So that they chose a different size. Would they fit on 24 courses? Some, yes. I think they'll fit on some 24 scale courses. Maybe not certain aspects of a course. Like we have bridges that are based on the width of an SCX24 axle. And on those specific ones, they wouldn't fit. I don't believe. I have not seen the width of them or any of that. But there's certain things like that that people build into courses, which I'm not actually technically a fan of, honestly, are those very limiting factors where if anybody puts wheel wideners on or things like that, they won't be able to run on it. I don't like those aspects. So that's not really a huge issue. I think on most courses, you'd be able to fit an 18 scale. It comes down to on competitions, in the places that do competitions, do you have to set out a whole separate set of gates in order to accommodate the 18th scale market now? Or will the 18th scale market completely dominate and just completely obliterate the 24 scale market that has been comping and stuff for, past couple years? So that's the interesting part for me. From a marketing standpoint, people say they're hard to work on. They're actually one of the easiest things. The SCX24 to take apart and rebuild is one of the easiest things you'll ever do. People think the screw sizes and all that are tough. If you have a magnetic screwdriver, you're not dealing with everything in there. It's so easy to work on. I can build and take one apart super fast and easy. Maybe getting into arthritis and some of that stuff, maybe make it a little bit more difficult. But by and large, they're very simple to work on, and there's not much to go wrong with them with the worm gear axle and all of that. So, but yeah, it's going to be a little bigger. It's going to make the screws, I'm going to guess, are you going to use 1.5 millimeter hexes, hopefully, on stuff. Yeah, here, Bull Gear. My FCX24 is too large for many 1/24th courses. Yeah, it is. And his FCX24 is probably going to be closer to the size of the what Traxxas has just released. It's just not as small and portable for what made the SCX24 so novel. And that's why I said even the FMS is like, this is a little bigger than I want to just carry around. My SCX24 is like, I took it with me to Europe when I just went. I could barely fit it into my carry-on with me because of just space. And so having that super small size made it really easy. It's also why I chose my Bronco, because it was a hard body and I wouldn't totally destroy the body jamming it in my luggage. But yeah, I mean, those are my question marks. I'm sure that the reasonings behind it are because of some of the things that our people will see as benefit. Oil-filled shocks. Let's talk about some of the things we know. It has oil-filled shocks. It does have a ring and pinion differential in the axles. Bonus. So glad that they did straight axles, but you guys that love your portals will disagree. But most of these trucks would come with solid axles out of the box and out of the gate anyway. I like solid axle, straight axle, and so that's a win for me. It's not a win for capability necessarily, but still, even in most competitions and stuff, you don't see everybody running, that many people running portals. But we will definitely see monster truck conversions for this thing because of the axles. I think it's going to be. It's definitely going to influence the market because Traxxas is a huge name brand, and people that don't necessarily even know about the mini market are going to see Traxxas and the name of it being a TRX4, and they're going to be interested. I also think the naming convention, the TRX4m, may be confusing to people if they're not paying attention online and they're doing ordering and stuff like that. But we'll see. I mean, I know many people already who buy fabricated bumpers and that for our mini cars, thinking that they're going to be for full size. And I wonder how many are going to buy a TRX4M thinking that it is going to be the size of a TRX4. These are questions I have. They're not. I'm not knocking Traxxas by asking these. These are legitimate questions as I see things, as somebody that's got a marketing background and all of that I question as I see it. All right, let's get to some of the comments because I've been kind of rambling. I've been just trying to get through some of this stuff that came into my brain when I saw it, because my first thought was, yes, I'm so excited. Oil-filled shocks, cool. In this small scale, they're not super heavy and it's not a huge need in my opinion, but it's definitely an upgrade. And doing the axles the way they did, because most of the 24 scale axles that put ring and pinions in have that huge pumpkin. So yeah. All right. So how far back do I need to scroll through the comments here? If I haven't read your comment and it's well up the list, hit it again and I'll try to get to him. LOL, we could see an SCX 18 next year. Bot Brad, glad you made it back to the good old USA. Yeah. Good to be back. I enjoy traveling, but as my kids get older, I enjoy being home. And now, we've got things going on here so much with the YouTube and all that. And I can't keep up with it. I honestly, I'm struggling to keep up with everything. I honestly also have a new 18 scale rig over there that I have to do an unboxing on for this week. So teaser alert, there's something new 18th scale coming being announced this week other than a TRX4m. So conspiracy alerts can go off there.
Warning, alien approaching. Warning, biophysical experiment.
So yes, there is a little bit something waterproof. That is a good thing, AJ. Yes, the TRX4m for mini, I believe, is going to be waterproof. And that is one of the best things, I think, to point out as far as features go. It is going to be waterproof. The ESC looks really good for it. I can't believe that they got it under 150 bucks. $149.99 is 150 bucks, but that one penny keeps us under. But I'm with Traxxas pricing, it's bigger than a 24 scale. It's barely anything extra. I'm completely floored. I would have thought that they would have come in at 200 bucks for something like this. You know, Kyosho did. Didn't do well for them. I think that the TRX4m is going to go gangbusters for sales. And people, from everything I've seen, people are going to love it. From based on what I can tell from the pictures, it looks like it's going to be solid. There's not a whole lot, I mean, that it seems like could go wrong with it unless they just have really bad ESCs or electronics or things like that. But I mean, with these mini ones, the force and things that they're under, the things that break just seem like they're smaller. So unless it's really fast, like the FCX24, and people are jumping it and stuff or turning them into monster trucks, like I know many people will do. I'm not sure everything that's going to break. AJ, this is the question. Should I wait and buy this for mini crawl comps or go ahead and get an SCX24? I don't know of any 18 scale crawl comps right now. So if you're going to buy this for crawl comps, I wouldn't. If you have SCX24 comps that are already going on, it's going to need a lot more work out of the box, I think, for an SCX24 than maybe a bigger scale. So that's one of the things. Also, in a larger scale, it is going to be more capable in theory out of the box. But over bigger obstacles. But when you really size things properly for 24 scale, which also makes it easier to make things for it, and things that are, you know, small ledges and stuff that you have or small rocks seem bigger to it and add difficulty in easy ways. Yeah. The biggest thing I think that I've been frustrated with is everybody calling the SCX24 and that too toy-like. And they haven't, I mean, apparently they haven't driven mine because mine don't drive toy-like anymore. So yeah. Hetmansky, the TRX4M is going to be a game changer. Mark my words. Well, thank you for your thoughts, Kevin. I think you're right. And I think it's definitely going to open up, like we were saying earlier, the monster truck game in that scale is going to be crazy. Hey, Tony, re-opinion gear would require 1/18th. I don't know of any smaller scale serious. Well, RGT and them have 1/24 scale with rig and pinion in it. But the pumpkin is huge on them. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be different because you're going to have to do drag brake and some different things that are going to be required of them, whereas the worm gear kind of is an automatic drag brake. So, yeah, the bodies are ABS. That's awesome. Any Traxxas clipless? Oh, are they clipless bodies? I don't see any clips on them or body posts showing. Oh, that's amazing. That would be really cool if they did clipless bodies with them too. They're already showing brass wheel inserts you can get for them, different things, you know. they're looking pretty good what they've come up with out of the box for them. And I'm honestly excited about it. I will be buying them. I will probably buy one of each because the Defenders are my favorite vehicles ever made in that particular styling. The new one's not so much, but I still like the new one. But the old styling of the Defender is definitely my favorite vehicle ever produced, probably. So there's a definite amount of want for that. My main question is really how it's going to fit into the mini market as we see it. And it may just change it, you know. Maybe we're all going to be going around doing 18 scale instead of 24 scale. But on the box it says it's not a toy. MW303 with the win. So yeah, I'll be pre-ordering these at $150. I mean, so here's the thing. Even if it doesn't become a comp truck, what I think it's going to do is it's going to make it easier entry point for people into the hobby, because at 118 scales, maybe somebody can't afford a TRX4 at $400 or $500, but they want to get into crawling and they want something that's somewhat capable. And there's going to be aftermarket like you would not believe for this thing. It's going to be insane. But it's probably going to trail better than, say, an SCX24. So if that's your goal for it, is to have something that is, just, an entry point in to crawling, this could be game changing even in that regard, because I think what you're going to get for $150 is going to be better than an SCX24 just because of the components going into it. With the oil filled shocks and all that, it's gonna feel more like a 10 scale probably out of the box than, say, an SCX24. The SCX24s are tiny. Again, that's the novelty of it for me, is the super small size of them. But I think that at $150 in getting somebody into something that's more capable, this is gonna definitely change things. The Jeep and Realtor, most of us, maybe not the ones watching, will enjoy a slightly larger mini trail truck. See, I wouldn't really take these trailing. For me, if I was looking for something, if I'm going out trailing and that's where I'm going, I'm probably taking a 10 scale. I would be looking more indoor stuff with these, or very small, just backyard course setup for something like this. It's still pretty small to go trailing. Go camping with this? Yes. I would take this camping and whatever trails I might run into there. But if I'm making a dedicated effort to go out trailing, I'd probably grab my bigger ones. I would definitely not take my SCX24. They'll be clipless. That's wicked. I want to look at the new TRX4 Mini, but this is chat's too good. Definitely a hard body with a clipless system. 2FMRC. What's up, man? I'm super stoked about it. What's going on, JMRCs? New mini market 18 scale has been around for a while, unless you're talking about crawling aspect. I'm talking about crawlers. So the minis that we basically, a lot of us refer to, are the mini crawler market. And in that, the 18 scale is there. It's definitely there. FMS is there. But it hasn't really had anything like this. And technically, if FMS is saying they have the SCX24, is their like capable crawler one, they're not considering it to be 18 scale. Then this is really going to be the first really capable, large market 18 scale crawler, I would say. It creates a whole nother market. So we've got 24 scale now crawling, 18 scale crawling, 10 scale crawling, and 6 scale crawling is a pretty pretty big range of things. And so I guess it'll really depend on what people want to do in your area and what they are running. And, some hobby shops are only Traxxas hobby shops. So this is going to open up doors for them, man. Be able to put mini crawlers, section in their shop and have little crawling comps. That's huge, for those Traxxas only dealers. Other ones that sell multiple, it gets interesting. I guess you choose which one you want to comp, or you find a way to do multiple gates on the same course, but have them run like the blue course instead of the green one. I don't know. I'm speaking from my personal experience in that we have 24 scale competitions around here, and they're my favorite competitions that we do. In fact, I'm running and hosting the 24 scale competition this weekend at the Great Lakes Gauntlet, and the trophies for it are sick. So if you're in the area, you got 24 scale. We're doing a brushed class, a brushless class, and a 12 and under class. So you heard it from me. You should definitely show up for that. But that's where some of my hesitation about, man, I really wish it's more that I really wish it was 24 scale. Not that I don't think it's amazing for what it is. It's just like, man, if this would have been 24 scale, what we could have done. What we could have done in our competitions we currently have. Now it's kind of like, what does that mean for the competitions we currently have? Do we convert to 18th scale? Do we keep running 24th? On a normal day of crawling, it's not going to matter if you're just going up to your shop. You can run the same courses. But when you're setting out gates and you're doing the comps, it's definitely that's the question mark. But for most people, not everybody does the comps. A lot of people just, they do their Instagram videos and flexing them and all that stuff. And it's going to really just tear that up for sure. That market's going to go nuts. Traxxas has hop-up speed transmission gears. Yes, they do. They have, it look like 3 different gear sets for the transmission. And which is, again, so here's the other thing, bodies. Companies like J Concepts, Proline, all of them now have to make an 18 scale body set because a lot of people are already saying, where are the truck bodies? I would love to have a truck body. So that in the aftermarket, and I guess you could get some 18 scale. Do they make model kits in 18 scale? I know they definitely have die cast in 18 scale. Yeah, I'm trying to get back to the comments here. The issue with the 124 scale is only the S624 is supported by the aftermarket. Others aren't. Yeah, that's true. And that's where having somebody else come in like Traxxas would have definitely made it so there would have been more. The big names are going to get the aftermarket regardless. There's a few people, but the RGT in that really aren't, unfortunately, worth doing a whole lot of upgrades for, except for totally scrapping all the transmission, everything, and going over to something like the axial one. So Sean's RC Adventure, no more 124. Hey, he wants them gone. Are you okay with 118 scale though, Sean? Is that where you draw the line? I'd buy a Traxxas next over an X624. What are the hex sizes? I don't know. I'm hoping. Oh, it's on the Traxxas site now. Let's go check that out. Now we can see. Bam, learn more and see the bigger pictures. Ooh, that looked pretty big. That looked decent size next to its bigger brother there. Looks capable, smooth. Look at how smooth that is. Oh my goodness. I think it was just the shot. It didn't look as big in that shot. Bodies look amazing on them. Still grab it in your hand and go. Look at the steering angle, though. 45-degree steering angle is going to turn insane. Oil-filled GTM shocks. Clipless bodies. There it is. Boom. Up underneath the bumper. Is that how that was? Looked like it. Yeah, it's a little pop. And it looks way easier than the FMS ones. Those ones were tough. Waterproof electronics. All these are killer. 1, 2, 3 killer things in 4 killer things. As far as stats there. The right size for fun. Put in your backpack. $150. Dang. Okay, that's wicked. All right, back to comments. You guys are blowing up the comments, though. The stock system looks super smooth in this. Here it is in a house. Suspension looks really good on it. Has some decent speed. Showing how you can just still have fun in the house indoors. I like it. Definitely cool with the Lego ramp. I would love to see it next to an SCX24. Oh, that's a decent angle right there. See, it's those kind of obstacles, though, that are going to be one size only. Oh, wicked. Okay, it's nice and small. Yep, game changed. Game changed. Yeah, pre-order. Tell your dealers. All right, here we go. Here is where we see the layout. ESC in the back, ESC combo receiver in the back, battery tray here in the middle, motor. So, man, it looks like there's room for a winch next to that. Like you do a dual servo with a winch servo and a regular servo side by side. That's what it looks like to me. Axles look good. They're not huge as far as the pumpkins on them. You can see where the clips fit in there. Man, that's beautiful. $150. That's pretty wicked. Comes with the TQ radio even. Is that the radio you get with it? Mark Santa Maria is going to be selling those one-handed thumb grips for these things like crazy. It's very well done. So it's six inches. It's only an inch longer. 155 millimeters. That ain't bad. Look at the difference. They're giving you departure angles, breakover angles, approach angles. The Broncos like killing it over the Defender. I still want that. Look at that Defender. Looks so good. Yeah, combo ESC receiver and lighting control. See, these are the servo mounts. I wonder what goes on the other side of the servo mount. Hardened steel axles, steel wheel hubs, brass wheel hubs, aluminum drive shaft available, front axle shafts, hardened steel ones available, diff cover options, aluminum steering links already, aluminum suspension links. They are ready to go. Blue method blue wheels. Check that out. And they got the brass weights for them. They are ready to go. Low range transmission, speed transmission. Okay, so it's 2 transmissions. Setups. Gearing change there. You can see the larger gear here on the speed transmission versus this one. What size are the wheels? Lighting kit. Oh, they've already got light kits built out for them. Man. There's their ring and pinion. They're locked, which is good. They're crawlers. Overdrive will be easy with these as well to install. Lots of shock options. Yeah, they killed it. Available for pre-order. These come out, I think, November 25th. They go on sale on the Traxxas site. That was on one of the first graphics. November 11th will be in-store on sale date. First delivery is November 4th to shops. In-store exclusive sales window for 2 weeks, and then they'll go on sale on Traxxas. So November 11th. So they want them to sell in-store first. That's pretty cool. Facebook user, yes, they came in hard with. Oh no, that was Shane. Yes, they did come in hard with all the accessories. Yeah, there's definitely, after looking at all this, definitely want for one of these. The size is not that much bigger than the 24th, just an inch. It'll be curious because the steering angle's better. So the mighty Chihuahua can become a Rottweiler. With that kind of a turning radius, it might still actually do better on some of the smaller courses we have for the 24 scale because of how sharp it can turn from one gate to the next. But yeah, and at $150, it's really, really not bad. Wish they had the K10 at launch. K10 would be cool. Sounds like the same scale as the FMS 24. Yeah, the FCX 24. Somebody was saying something. Why didn't they call it the TRX 24? And I was like, well, it's 18 scale. It wouldn't make sense to call it that. But yeah, definitely in hard body, $150. Yeah, I mean, the hex sizes. What were the hex sizes on these? Did we see what hex size was? 7mm. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. So the steering servo looks like it might be centered in there based on the steering link. And then the design of that. So I thought maybe there's room for another one tucked beside it, but I might have been wrong in my observation. I may not have been seeing clearly in this view. It's pretty centered. It looked like there was room on this other side over here, but I think it's centered based on the horn and where the horn meets the steering link. Kind of interesting. You don't need that upper arm on their steering link like many of them do. It just straight into the steering link from the horn. They raised it up, it looks like. And so it looks like it might even help with some of the clearance. Look at how high that is. It doesn't come across the front. It's tucked up here. I dig it. Now I'm gonna have to make brass diff covers with my logo on it for the TRX4m. You definitely will see it on the front though. Even now, you see logos and stuff because they totally lifted that front steering link. And because they centered it, it's going to make it super easy for centering. Your servos is going to easily push the same amount both ways. So as far as design goes, here's like an overhead view of that. That's good. Yeah, it's definitely centered in there. Wicked. Will be a pro build transmission for it soon. What's going on, McCoy family? Kind of sad to see all the bushings in the trans and axles. Yeah, I mean, at this scale, well, one, that's probably partly how they brought it in at the price they did. Upgrades are going to be, that's the bread and butter where they'll make their extra money on it for sure. Yeah, upper left RC. Old Blazer and Bronco bodies, I'm sure, will be around the corner in January. They have so much more they can release and offer down the road with a new platform like this. Hello, Traxxas Cash Cow. Yes, and in this small of a scale, that cash cow is even bigger because a lot more people can afford a $150 RC than they can afford a TRX4 at $500. That's part of it. Axle is thicker than the SCX24s. Should be. It's got a nice truss on the top of it too. But it's going to be bigger overall. I wonder what height the tires and all that are. That'll be. I can't wait to see one of these in person. Skid plate, all that looks really good on it. So, anyway, guys, my biggest question though is, how it fits in, and it's definitely going to change things. So it'll be interesting to see how the market shifts and how things go. And if the 18 scale is the new 24 scale, because it looks pretty capable. And we'll see what the aftermarket does for it. I'm sure we'll start seeing crazy bodies and chassis and all that kind of stuff coming for it, as long as it's adaptable. So yeah, it won't take long. They're going to go nuts with it. Tire size is listed on the website, says Bot Brad. Tire size. Tires. 2.2 by 1. So they're 57 millimeter tall. And the wheels are 1-inch wheels, which is good. I'm glad that they stuck with the 1-inch wheels. So that's not too bad. 57 millimeters. That's right in that game that a lot of the companies are already at. These might be a little wider at 0.5 inches or 12.5 millimeters. For the wheel, maybe not. Definitely not wider than some of the stuff we've been seeing from Little Guy Racing. It should bolt right up on here, it looks like. Yeah, this is cool news. And actually looking at these pictures, it might be just off center. I thought that was centered. It's hard to tell in this picture. It might be just off center. It makes sense if it was centered, though. Definitely for steering through. The one thing that'll really, the image that in my mind will really tell me what this is like is when it's next to an SCX24 and we see the size difference between them. But it definitely, from this, definitely, I'm saying definitely a lot. From this video, it sure seems like it could fit on most of the courses we run them on. Even some of the smallest of the courses I've seen. So, all right. Both will have a place in people's collections, I'm sure. Yeah, I think that this is still going to be an indoor crawler. But if it's a little bigger, it could open up outdoor crawling as well. Hey, Darren Mead, what's going on? I'm old RC Momentum from long ago when you started, before you took this on as a full-time over the day job. This is not full-time over the day job. This is still just whenever I can get to it. I took a lunch break just a minute ago to come up here and talk about this. But yeah, no, I still have a job. In fact, I was in Europe for that work last week. Why you look so sad? I don't mean to look sad. I'm just trying to read and take in a whole lot of stuff all at one time. What if the EZRC truck would fit? Yeah, I'm curious if some of the other bodies from the FMS would fit on it all right. It wouldn't work with their easy setup, but doesn't mean there's not a way to get it on there. My birthday's in November. I wear a size blue Ford. Yeah, I love it, Jeff. Yeah, the trailer's cool. I'm not in. I mean, for people that are into that kind of stuff, it's definitely cool. I don't just go tooling around with them where I pull a trailer behind my stuff, but there's definitely a cool little bumper or a trailer hitch setup that they've got working for that. It looks like. Oh yeah, back when I did quit. I had quit, yes. And I was giving YouTube a go at it, but that was really until I could find something else. YouTube definitely wasn't making it enough. Still isn't making it enough. Not even close. It's helping a little bit with the store selling SCX24 stuff, but that might bankrupt me now. I gotta sell quick. Fire sale. No, I'm not too worried about most of it. The SCX24 still can be quite a capable crawler when you do start getting into all the modifications that we do to them and the chassis and all that. So I look forward to seeing where we go with the TRX4m now. Still tough to say it. TRX4m. It is crazy because there's going to be now a lot of hard body Broncos. The light kit, however, is a pretty sweet upgrade on the Traxxas here. And I don't say that very often. People that know me. All right, guys. So it looks like all the info's coming out now. Peruse the site. And then we'll see what happens. I'm still just looking over the site right now as we're talking because it's some cool stuff for sure. Oh, the battery. What's the battery lead? Did they show the battery lead on them? I'm seeing this here, a little charger. Traxxas ID USB charger. Click for details. Oh, here we go. Here's a lead. So there are 2S 750 milliamp hours. So it's a nice size battery. Pretty cool. Shows you the charging and the light configurations for what it means. All right. So each of these are clickable to see the different options that you've got. Optional. So you have low range gearing and high range gearing. These optional ratios sold separately. Cool. Cool. Lots to learn, guys. There's going to be a lot more coming out on this over the next couple days and weeks, and there's a lot to get excited about. That's for sure. Looks like their first offering in the mini world is going to definitely take it by storm. And that's kind of the way they do things. You know, they definitely put a lot of time and effort into getting it right out of the box. And looks like that's what they've got here again. Here's a little indoor cardboard setup. I'm going to have to go back and just watch this video in its entirety. Yeah, little indoor courses. Really cool. Then out on the real rocks. Well done, guys. Well done. Oh, hey. Don't go to that, you guys. They blocked. It does not have a 2-speed transmission. You just have to go in and manually change it. There's optional gearing. All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks for tuning in to this quick RC conspiracies that we decided to throw in here and just get done because we saw this this image pop up. And before we started this, there wasn't a website showing any details. And then pictures started popping up and more details came in. And the only thing I haven't seen, actually, let's quickly look, is definitely Hex hardware. That's awesome. Cool. That's what I was curious about. Awesome. Yeah, so it looks like most of the stuff that I'm seeing here looks good for it. So they're going to be nuts, man. $150. You're going to see them everywhere. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have fun RCing. Catch you next time.